But there is a popular narrative that says that people who are resilient just have something special that allows them to do what the rest of us cannot do. Like there's this secret ingredient, so much so, as you point out in the book, that we often try to recruit for people who have mental toughness. But I also think that there's a dark side to this one, in that when I say to somebody who's got a really difficult life circumstances, you need more grit or more mental toughness, I am discounting in ways their experience of what they're going through. And I'm saying, well, if you're not out of this experience, it's down to you because you're not tough enough, as opposed to empathy or as opposed to actually helping them. And it's an interesting conundrum we have from this one. In your view, what's wrong with our understanding of resilience?
Yeah, I think exactly as you say there, these times when we might summon this magical quality, this incredible superpower, and it seems not to respond, it seems not to come. I think the interesting thing is that an industry has built around this desire for resilience because we've witnessed it in the wild. It's a bit like when we can't necessarily breed animals in captivity. We've witnessed resilience out unbounded in the wild by in the aftermath of natural disasters, exactly like you say. There was a wonderful researcher called Enrique Quarantelli, who used to go to natural disasters. He used to go and explore for the US government. He used to go and explore what used to happen. He was on the first plane out when there was an earthquake. He used to go and try and understand what would take place. And he said the expectation inevitably was, in the aftermath of a natural disaster, that you would have some sort of survival of the fittest, people fighting each other, people become their base instinct. And in fact, far from that, effectively their old identities had been demolished and a new collective identity was forged. And so you often find these incredible acts of kindness. Reports of what happened in the aftermath of 9/11. People were united in the streets, talking to strangers in this sort of connected moment. And so this has got more in common with when we actually see resilience than the model that we're often told. So the US military has spent in excess of $500 million training combat soldiers and other personnel in building resilience. Similar amounts have been spent by schools around the world. And it's largely because resilience is so hotly demanded, we've summoned it up. We've said, well, let's find someone who can bring us resilience. And what it fundamentally misses is the version of resilience we attempt to conjure up and we attempt to summon is an individual resilience, a trait of resilience. Somehow we believe that if we teach people to change the way they think, that somehow that this will arm them. We invite them to hunt the good stuff and find the positives, that this will somehow arm them in a resilient way. And in fact, it misses one fundamental thing that sits right at the heart of resilience. Resilience is a collective strength. It's not an individual strength. And so when we see those remarkable people stepping and surviving from natural disasters, when we see those people in Ukraine just having this strength of character to go give up their office jobs and go and take up arms to fight an invading force, it's because they have a collective strength. They feel emboldened by the people around them. And it's such a fundamental lesson that the fact that we step aside from it and we try to summon this individual resilience often leaves a lot of people feeling helpless. I'll tell you, when I started writing a book on resilience, more than a couple of people said to me, my work sent me on a resilience course and I don't feel any more resilient, but worse, now my boss is saying to me, what do you mean you still feel burnt out? You went on the resilience course. And it's because we've got this version of resilience that was sort of created to meet the demand for it, but that doesn't work. And it misses the fact that resilience is there for all of us to seize hold of, but it requires us to think more like communities than individuals.